Hello and welcome to Theology on Tap. It's Father's Day, so happy Father's Day. Now, I've been married for 29 years. I raised two kids. They're now 24 and 20 years old. I think I did a pretty good job, I think. All right, so I was thinking about the Father's Day and fathers and the importance of fathers for a family. So how do you become a good father? Because I think anybody could do it. If I could do it, anybody could be a pretty decent father. And I know there are a lot of books that you could read about being a father, having a family, and so many different advices. But for me, since I'm a simple guy, I just go to the scripture and try to figure out what it says about being a father. And there's only three things that I could really think about. If I were to think about myself and what was important to me, I could narrow it down to just three things. All right, so I want to share that with you, and hopefully it could be helpful to the fathers or father-to-bes or people who are planning to be fathers there, because I think it's very important. First thing, three things to remember. First thing, I think it's very important more than anything else to be there for the family and provide for the family. All right, that's number one. And I'm not saying provide for the family in a way that you have to become rich or anything, but enough to have a roof over the head and have food on the table. I think, and being there for your children, being there to show your love for your wife, that is it. That is the most vital thing. Now, I remember when I proposed to my wife and she agreed to marry me. And one day I asked her, what made you say okay, that you would marry me? What was it? Is it me? What did I do? Or, because I'm not a rich guy, or I didn't really have the aspiration to be rich either. Maybe because I never thought I had the talent to do so. But I asked her why. And what she said basically was, one time when I was trying to convince her how much I love her, I told her that regardless of what, even if I have to work at McDonald's or any kind of a minimum wage jobs that are out there, I will do it to provide for the family. And she said that was one of the big things. And that always stuck with me, that there's no shame in doing things that doesn't make you a lot of money, as long as you provide, have a roof over your head and food on the table. That should bring enough pride that to you as a father to be good. All right, so be there and provide. I think that's the most vital thing. I mean, you could read a bunch of statistics that are out there and the difference it makes to a family when the father is there and provide. All right, that's number one thing. Number two, what was really important to me, again, more than anything else too, is that I wanted to submit to my wife and love her and show my love for her. And I mean, I do my best at it, I guess. I'm always reminding myself to that. So, I never in 29 years of marriage, and I dated her for over 4 years, I never got upset in front of her, okay? Never really showed my frustration and things like that. So I guess in 35 years of relationship, I think she actually said, I am sorry, maybe 4 times, if I could remember. I'm sure she'll say more, but 4 times. And even when she did apologize, I really thought it was not necessary. Things happen or whatever. But what was important to me was to put her on a pedestal to a point where we didn't have to argue or get into any kind of fight or anything like that at all. And to be honest, because of my attitude that I had, we never had an argument. It doesn't mean we have disagreements, obviously, but not every disagreement has to turn into an argument. You could always win at times, lose at times, or agree to disagree. I really don't think it's that impossible or difficult if you keep reminding yourselves to submit to your wife and love her, right? The way she needs to be loved. That's number two. All right, to me, that was the most important thing as far as raising children, to show my love for my wife in front of my kids. Because I think that's the best example that you could give to your children, is to bring about that security and comfort, knowing that your parents love one another. I think that's vital. All right, third thing, when it comes to raising my children, my relationship with my kids, there's a verse in the Bible, I think it's in Ephesians, that basically says, don't get your kids angry, right? Don't you be the reason why kids get angry, to feel insecure or, show any kind of low self-esteem to a point where they get angry, because they get angry at their parents, their fathers. Once again, I think that's vital in family relationships. There are many times when I was raising my kids, I have probably the best wife that anybody could have, but she's one of those a person that when she falls asleep, she doesn't wake up until she's done sleeping. So if my kids were gonna wake up in the middle of the night, which they did almost every day for 7 years, both of my kids didn't really sleep through the night until they're 7 years old. That means I had to take care of my kids. So I need to submit to my wife and love her, make sure she gets her sleep. I have to take care of my kids. And, it's very frustrating. And you're tired, very difficult. But to not show anger in front of your kids, to make them feel insecure or fearful or get angry back at me because of the way I'm acting in front of them, that was very important to me. So I made sure, no matter what, I didn't get angry in front of them just because I was frustrated. When they got a little bit older, they were starting to do things differently, especially when they hit 7, they started thinking on their own. So they talk back sometimes or to say things that is not appropriate, whatever. There are times when I would get angry in front of them. But that verse always stuck out to me. Don't get your kids angry. So what I decided to do was every time I got so frustrated that I wanted to yell at my kids or discipline them in one way or the other, I would just kind of take a step back. It doesn't take long, maybe a minute or so. Take a step back and just excuse yourself, go into the restroom, and I would look at myself in the mirror and just force a smile. Because I learned back in college, somebody told me that even if you force a smile, it will get you happy or less angry. So I started doing that. And to be honest with you, it worked. It worked. So I would force a smile. I look at myself, force a smile. And then I would ask myself, why are you so angry? Why are you so frustrated? And I would think about it real quick, less than a minute. And the answer comes. And I say good 95% of the times or so, I was angry because I was frustrated and tired. It was my fault. It wasn't my kid's fault. It was my fault. If I were to ask myself, why are you so angry? Whose fault is it? And that 5% of times where it was my kids that disobeyed or did something that deserved some kind of punishment or whatever. Since I took the time to walk away and force a smile and calm down, I was able to talk to them and talk to them or do things to correct the situation in a way that I didn't make them angry. I was able to make them understand. Does that make sense? And because of that reason, I said my older kid is 24. I never had a chance to yell at him or get mad at him in front of him, ever. And because of that reason, I think, and I'm sure it's because of that reason, our relationship with my wife and I, our relationship with our children is, we have no complaints. It's excellent. It's good. And if we could just remember those 3 things, all right? Be there and provide. Submit to your wife and love her, especially in front of your kids. They will see the love that you have, bring them comfort. And third thing is, don't you be the reason why they get angry or frustrated. Take care of yourself in a way that you could provide answers for them and discipline them in a way that you show them the way rather than using anger or any kind of a punishment. because it does work. It does work. All right. Anyway, yeah. Please remember those things. God bless you. Good luck. Fathers, you are the heroes. Definitely. You could change the world of being a good dad, being a good family man. All right. God bless you. And I'll see you next time.